Thanks also, Brad Larkin. Brad thinks Israel will run out of interceptors before Iran exhausts its missiles. That's what Brad thinks. Thanks, Mercia and Dwaj Al-Faraj. Thank you. And Katie Williams for the gift memberships. Thank you. And DocNo27. And Free Mind. Thank you, James Smith, as well. ABC News is now echoing the Reuters report about Trump and opposing the killing of the supreme leader of Iran. Selena Wong of ABC News says, U.S. communicated to Israelis Trump is opposed to a plan to kill the supreme leader. And that Iran has not killed an American and discussions of killing political leaders should not be on the table. Also, another U.S. official tells ABC News the U.S. is not considering joining the war with Iran to eliminate its nuclear program. Our viewer Snugglegoth said missiles are built in Iranian factories with materials mostly from China. I don't know how much material they use. There was an article in the Times of Israel a week ago which said that Iran ordered from China lots of large quantities of materials for producing ballistic missiles. I guess the Wall Street Journal reported it. But I'm guessing that Israel is going after missile factories. That would certainly be, supposedly the last few days, Israel has been going after all sorts of missile-related targets. I would think that's a prime concern for Israel. I have an update on injuries from the latest barrage, the missile barrage of roughly 30 missiles, I guess, from when we came on the air. Emergency medical in Israel says 8 injured people, 1 was in moderate condition and 7 in light condition. The moderate had signs of smoke inhalation. There was 1 scene in the north and 1 scene in the south of the country. I think the north was in Haifa. We can show the Haifa video again. Oh, hold on a second here. Elint News posted a post from Mehdi H. which says the Israeli Air Force video looks like an Iranian surface-to-air missile system destroyed. Oh, I see. Okay. Hold on. I see here. The IDF posted a video which of them destroying something, and that post I just described to you said it's a surface-to-air missile launcher, and I see what they're talking about now. So if you look here, the idea would be that it's like a mobile launcher. That would be the idea. So this would be the front. It's like a truck, whereas that's the front of the truck, and then on the back are the surface-to-air missiles right there. I missed that before. See? They put that out about an hour ago. I should show you guys the. We should look one more time at the Haifa video. I gotta say, since what was it, 3 days ago, that this particular conflict started. That Israel launched their attacks on Iran's nuclear program on Friday morning. This is like, I mean, usually there's either Iranian missiles threatening Israel, or you're getting a bunch of news out of Iran, like about Israeli attacks. It's a bit quiet right now in terms of the last few hours. I have not seen many updates from Iran. But I will show you again this missile hit in Haifa from a couple hours ago. Demon King says a lot was happening in the morning. Let's watch Haifa replay. Haifa replay. In case you haven't seen it, we're going to watch the missile hit in Haifa from earlier. This is a replay. This was a couple hours ago. You'll see this was like around 2 hours ago. You'll see some interceptors come up. There are the interceptors. Give it. Now there's the missile right there. Watch that missile coming. Crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I'll show that again. Here it is again. Here it is again. It's a pretty crazy video. Yeah, I don't know if an interceptor missed it. It looked like an interceptor explosion near it. I don't know that an interceptor missed it or something else got intercepted. If you look when it's coming down, there's a flash right near it, right? Right there. I don't know if that flash when it's coming down is something that missed it, or maybe something else is getting taken out. So I want to show you that again. That fire is out, I believe, now. A quick thank you to Beachy Keen. Thank you, Beachy Keen, and also thank you to PB and Jam. Also, Humble Ramblings, thank you. And from Canada, Katie Williams, that's so nice of you. Katie Williams from Nova Scotia. Yeah, she's talking about how back in 2020 there was a terrible shooting in Nova Scotia where a person impersonated a police officer. Which the Minnesota shooting reminded me of that. Also, thank you to coming as a thief in the night. Prod Nico, thank you. Also, Louis Aponte and Dewey. And Redneck Surgical Tech. And Paul Grogan and David Nesbitt. David says, will this help keep Iran from supplying Russia? You mean with drones? It's a good question. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Israel is targeting some drone infrastructure in Iran. That's a good question. Thanks to Cal Key and James Smith and Virgo Storm. And Dave Long. Oh, Iranian state media is confirming that the head of intelligence for the Iranian Revolutionary Guard was killed by Israel in their attacks. The Revolutionary Guard is the most powerful branch of the armed forces in Iran. Mohammad Kazemi was killed by Israel. That is now confirmed. I can show you a Wikipedia page. Well, there's no picture there. Mohammad Kazemi. Oh, by the way, it's not. This is not a replay. I kept the thing up there that said replay, but it's not. We were showing you a replay from Haifa. Mohammad Kazemi. He headed the Revolutionary Guard's intelligence organization. Also, his deputy, Hassan Mohakik, was also killed in Israeli strikes today. Earlier today, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister Netanyahu, earlier today had told Fox News these two men were killed. And now state media is saying it. Thanks, Manny Fabian, for the reporting. There are some reports of people evacuating Tehran. I can't confirm it. I've seen some different reports that people are leaving. You know, I guess the idea would be they're leaving because they're nervous about the attacks on Tehran by Israel. Let me check out some other reporting here. The Washington Post today has an article, Clash with Iran boosts Netanyahu, but Israelis worry about Wong fight. They say to sustain public support, Netanyahu needs to show the military operation is a success and ensure it doesn't become a protracted conflict, analysts say. They say, the article says, this attack on Iran was debated for decades. We talked about that earlier. For decades, there has been talk of whether Israel would strike Iran's nuclear program. They say that throughout Netanyahu's career as prime minister, he has been known for incremental rather than broadly strategic approaches to conflict, at least before the war in Gaza. They noted that the Israeli military has still failed to achieve its two main war aims of destroying Hamas and returning all the hostages. The article in the Post says, for the long-serving Israeli prime minister, the Iran conflict could provide an opportunity to reshape his legacy, which has been stained by the Hamas surprise attack in October 2023 and his unpopular handling of the protracted Gaza war. Many Israelis now stand behind Netanyahu's decision to take the fight to Iran, but over time they will ask questions about how the conflict is waged and judge whether he coordinated properly with the U.S. or if he created any risk with Israel's most important ally, the U.S., said one expert the Post talked to. Others, analysts, cautioned it's too early to predict political fallout when military action is still underway. Also, there's a different article the Post had yesterday. In ordering major attack on Iran, Netanyahu sheds his inhibitions. They say the Israeli attack on Iranian nuclear and military sites, along with the targeted killing of at least a dozen senior military officials and scientists, represents the latest sign of Israel's shift away from a decades-old policy favoring containment, restraint, and short wars, according to Middle East analysts. That change has been underway since October 7th, 2023, when Israel failed to foresee the Hamas attack. One expert they talked to, Aaron David Miller, said that Netanyahu, who once shied away from exercising force, now appears comfortable with leading Israel as a regional hegemon. Hey, thanks to Chris Canada Quebec City, who says, I'm surprised Iran admits so quickly to deaths in its regime. You'd think they downplay it to limit the damage. I wonder if they think that people will find out about it anyway, so they might as well say it. I don't know. It's an interesting question about when they admit negative things in their state media. Thanks, Patriots Sicilian, Lori Girl 81. Says, how are the other countries close to Iran? Do you mean like where they are? Like how close they are? Iran is hundreds of miles away from Israel. Sometimes that's surprising to see because you hear about them all the time, but again, even at the closest point, it looks like over 600 miles away. That's just the western part of Iran. Messi says the capital of Iran is over 1,000 miles. You know, that's a good point. We should. I'm glad you brought that up because a number of Israel's strikes have been on Tehran, But Tehran is, you know, about around 1,000 miles away. Thank you, Sean Harmon, who says, please express how important it is for people to know what is AI content like the Arma 3 gameplay that Iran retweeted. Thank you, Greg Cutts, who said we could see interceptions from Cyprus. Really? Cyprus is here. In the sky, you mean? Cyprus is right here. Here's Israel. Here's Cyprus. Interesting. Thank you, Greg. Thanks, Gloria Mason. And Stephen Payton. And Lebanese. And my Soda Town journals. And Cobalt Raven on Twitch. Michael Horowitz said there are new strikes reported in Iran. He says including in Kermanshah. Let's see what else I can find on this. I'm looking for some Iranian state media comment on this or other reporting. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Let's see. Oh, 6 minutes ago, hey guys, 6 minutes ago, I saw a post from Al Mayadeen news outlet that said their correspondent reports in Iran, air defenses in Tabriz, Iran, intercept Israeli targets. So there might be some new Israeli strikes going on in Iran right now. Oh, I got video from Haifa. I got some video from Haifa that I'll show you in a moment of aftermath of the missile that hit there. In a moment, I'll put that video. I'll show you that video. Oh, I might have live video. I have live video from Haifa, breaking news. Live video of the Haifa aftermath. Let's get this on the screen for you. Look at this. It's live from Haifa. Look at that. So this is the missile, I assume, the one we saw hit there. I'll replay it again shortly. But this is the missile aftermath in Haifa. Haifa, Israel. Wow. Looks like maybe several buildings. I mean, you can't see inside the buildings. For all I know, the buildings are kind of blown out inside. I'm not sure. Yeah, some of our viewers are saying that power seems to be out. Maybe that is the case. I'm not sure. One moderate injury reported there, and I think a handful of minor injuries from this. The IDF just announced that they had completed a large-scale wave of raids to strike the Iranian regime's weapons production capabilities. They said they targeted various weapons production sites. So we've been talking about, whether Iran would be able to make more missiles and make more drones. Well, Israel is targeting their weapons production facilities. No, this is not a loop. This is a live shot from Haifa. Thank you so much to Robert. Thank you, Robert. And Cool Guy Mark and the Spooky Dude. And Robert. Robert thinks Iran must be hurting less missiles tonight. There were, I think, 30 in the previous barrage. Thank you, Lenore Engelstein. Lenore Engelstein. Lior. Did I say Lenore? It's Lior Engelstein. Thank you, Lior. And Karen Franklin. And Kevin Borman. Karen Franklin, Kevin Borman, Scott W. Kevin says Iran hasn't fired cruise missiles yet. I don't know if they have. I mean, the cruise missiles take longer to arrive than ballistic do. I don't know if they've fired any cruise missiles yet during the last few days. I'll go back to the. I'm going to go back to the shot. I think I'm going to go back to the shots of the. Well, maybe I'll put up at least on another angle. I'll put up a couple of the other shots here, so you can see them. Let me do that. I'll put up Tel Aviv and Haifa. Oops. Why is this one not big? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. All right, so that's Haifa, and I want this one to be Tel Aviv. Why can't I do? Oh, I see what I did wrong. That's my fault. There you go. This is going to be confusing for you guys, though. The damage you're looking at, if you haven't seen it, I'll throw it on the screen real quick. We played it before. But the damage is from this missile that hit Haifa, which is right here. If you haven't seen it, this is not live. That's a replay from Haifa, but this is the missile. This is the missile that hit in Haifa. You'll see it right now, coming into the screen, coming on your screen. There it is, falling from the sky and hitting. Again, that was a couple hours ago. But we're looking at the aftermath of that. Here it is again. Okay, so, we don't have that live shot anymore. Well, we got to see a little live shot from the area where it was going on. Let's put these back now. These are live. Now I got to get everything back up the way it was before. So, this is Tel Aviv. Then we'll put up Haifa. put up Jerusalem. There we go. Oopsie. Thank you to Captain of Chaos, who says, I wonder how Russia's going to get their drones now. A couple of our viewers have asked about whether this would impact the Russian drone supply from Iran. It's a good question. Thank you also, Stoned Colder, 71. And Triple Pampit. And the Driver's Lounge. Is this considered a war? Depending on your definition of war, I would say. I mean, the word can be used different ways. I could see somebody arguing that it's not because it's maybe not long-term enough yet or something. I don't know. I leave that to you and your definition of war. Thanks to Melody Wall as well. Shout out to our moderators, Ruth Krafasi, Roberts Mayqueen, Beth Mythical, Janet B. Bastion Girl, LB Prairie Dawn, Idaho Star, Matthew Kohai, 3 Papa Bear, and Surly Dev. Thanks for modding as well. Kay Lowry, Body, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson, Linda Belglary, and Misha on X. Thank you. Shout out to our Twitch subscribers like Cobalt Raven, AJW, Irish Brawler, Cherry Onken, Sabaris, Hezin. Hezin thinks it's definitely a war, but not an official war. Remove Glazers now. Thanks for being a subscriber. Matthew Kohai 3. Thanks to our YouTube members. Anthony Travers. Cupcake is here. Cupcake is here from France. How about that? Evelyn in Maine. Jesse McAllister. Eris Kalar. Zypher Warrior. Carol Lay. Teldy Boy. Songbird. Matthew Ward. Shouting at some of our members. The Hobgoblin. Batya. Carolet. PZT. Money Tree Hollins. HM Doppelganger, Roger Shoemaker, Susanna Branch, NY Committee, All That's Random, Gamer Lover. Thank you to all of our members. Reuters says oil price tense, wait for markets to open. They say since Saturday, Israel has hit the oil depot in Tehran and facilities at Iran's huge South Fars gas field, the world's largest, which produces gas for domestic consumption. Israel has so far spared targets associated with Iran's oil exports, while Tehran has yet to follow through on hinted threats to hinder shipping in the Gulf. With markets due to reopen in hours, traders say oil buyers have loaded up on long-term contracts for protection in case of supply disruption, but uncertainty could drive wild price swings. Iran said the situation at the burning Shahran oil depot in Tehran was under control. if you look at an oil price chart, the oil price went up from around 67 to the low 70s when this attack started, and it's kind of been at that new level ever since. Crude oil futures. The Wall Street Journal thinks it's a significant escalation that Israel and Iran struck each other's oil energy facilities over the weekend. So they point out that Israel hit a couple of natural gas facilities at the South Pars field in the Persian Gulf. An Iranian missile hit a refinery in Haifa Saturday. Also, Israel hit the main fuel depot and a central oil refinery in Tehran. Interesting also, the Wall Street Journal says one nightmare scenario in 2019 happened when drone attacks blamed, I remember this, when drone attacks blamed on Iran temporarily shut down about half of Saudi Arabia's oil production. That was in 2019. So we'll have to see if more energy facilities are hit. It's been limited so far. As I mentioned, a senior commander in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard warned yesterday, was it yesterday? Well, recently. Oh, yesterday. Warned Iran was considering closing the important Strait of Hormuz waterway. A third of the world's oil flows through it. I just saw something, 18 minutes ago, I had missed this. 18 minutes ago, Al Mayadeen news outlet said their Iranian correspondent heard an explosion in the city of Shahryar, west of Tehran. That was 18 minutes ago. Let's see. Why is this like that? What's going on with this thing? I need to fix my videos here. There's this one. That should be... there we go. That's better. Al Jazeera also says an explosion was heard in the city of Shahryar, west of Tehran. The Iranian Ministry of Health claims that 224 people in Iran have died in the last few days of Israeli aggression. That's what they claim. There are reports of air defense being active in Tabriz, Iran. Hey, thanks to Sentient Donut and Jonathan Tolbert. Thanks for being members. Thanks to SoCal Girl. Thank you. Sharon SH and Cormac, thank you. Also, Coming as a Thief in the Night. And Kim Hovick. And Full Serve Auto Care. And Rave Pavarotti. And Rule and Dirty's War and Oleksiy Labadiev. Also, wow, that's so nice of you. Layer Leitner. That's very generous of you. Layer Leitner. Thank you so much, Layer, for supporting the channel. Very kind of Layer. Thank you. I appreciate it.